Hi, I'm Mr. Graber. I'm one of the deans in the Office of Admission. I'm also a day student advisor, which is one of the reasons why I was so excited to be part of this panel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little snippet of a song, and then you have to either know what that song is or guess what that song is and type your answer in the chat. All right, I'm going to share my audio. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to play a little snippet.
All right, put your answer in the chat. Can you name that tune?
That was not much of that song. I'll be impressed if people can get that.
Should we give them a little longer? Or can someone guess the answer?
I'm happy to give a little longer. I guess, could they hear it okay, do you think? Let me check the share.
I think they could hear it.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, newly admitted students, can you guess the name of that song? Put it in the chat if you can. And someone just say hi in the chat so we know the chat is working.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody in the chat yet.
We're not. I'm a little nervous.
Not enabled? Is it only enabled for panelists?
Oh, no, I enabled it.
Okay.
I did.
Hello out there.
Maybe they're being shy. All right, we'll do something simpler. Can everyone, all the admitted students who are in the Zoom room, write their name in the chat? Just their first name is fine. We can just make sure that it's working.
Mrs. Mallick, we have an answer in the Q&A.
Oh. KG, is that right?
That is so right.
Good job, Inti.
My favorite song by BTS, Dynamite.
Should we try one more song?
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm a little nervous that no one's putting it in the chat.
Yeah, let me
Although you're getting it in the Q&A now. Good job, Adrian.
Okay, let me get there. All right, we ready for the next Name That Tune? I gotta share my audio again. Okay, here we go. All right, the chat isn't working, so you can answer in the Q&A. Oh, lots of Q&A coming in.
Oh, I think the chat's working now.
Okay.
There we go.
Ooh.
Fixed.
Yep, Blinding Lights. Lots of answers. Man, I didn't give hardly much of that song. That's pretty good.
All right, should we officially start now? Or do you want to do one more song to keep warming them up, KG?
I would not mind doing one more song.
Let's do one more song, now that the chat's working.
Yeah. Hitting some buttons. Okay. This one's going to be a little bit of a throwback. Here we go. Name that tune. Amelia got me on that throwback kick. Right, Amelia?
The best songs to listen to are throwback songs, and I stand by that.
So in the chat, we're getting, oh, Oh, Sophia got it.
Nice.
We had right song but wrong title. We had the artist, but we didn't get the. So it looks like Sophia's the one who got it. Nice.
All right,
job.
great job, everybody. We're gonna get started officially. Thanks to KG for playing a little Name That Tune to kick us off. Good evening, everyone, and congratulations on your admission to the 244th entering class at Phillips Academy. And thank you for joining us. My name is Vivien Mallick, and I am the Director of Admission Operations here at PA. This is my 22nd year working in the admissions office, and I've spent most of that time overseeing the day student applications. So tonight's event is actually my favorite of the entire year. I'm so excited to be here, and I hope you are too. In a moment, you're going to hear from our awesome panel of 6 current day students and a faculty member who is a day student advisor. But before we get there, I just wanted to call your attention to one thing, because I've been speaking to a number of families this week, and I wanted to make sure you're all fully aware of this website, which is meant for you. Can you all see this website, webpage, you guys? It's andover.edu/admission/welcome. And this is where you can officially say yes to our offer of admission. You can watch some fun videos. And then this is actually what I want to call your attention to. Here we're going to keep listing our virtual events, and you can save them to your own personal calendar. We have 4 listed right now, but there are actually more coming, I promise you. And then this checklist, not enough of you have discovered the secret of this checklist. So I want to just call your attention to this checklist and make sure you do what my friend Miss Thompson would do, and make sure you check off all the boxes. Okay, I'll let you play with that in your own time. And then there's some helpful information for parents and guardians. You guys can ignore the international student stuff. Then there's some more information here for your families about tuition and fees and things like that. Some more fun videos. This is my favorite section of this entire webpage, because if you mouse over it, oh, whoops, hi KG. If you mouse over it, all the admission officers and all of the team members, we move. And then you can click into us to learn a little bit more about us. Look at Mr. Ventry there. Okay, and then this pulls in our social media feed. So if you don't already follow all of our social media accounts and you have social media yourself, please do, especially the Andover admissions account. More videos. And then lastly, a lot of people have been asking me for this. This is the draft calendar of next school year, so you can start planning ahead. And this is our course of study booklet, which is goes to the descriptions of all 300 of the classes that we offer. So you can start picking out which classes you might like to take over the course of your time at PA. So make sure you go check out this website in your free time, and especially check out this checklist, okay? All right, and before we get to that panel, we're gonna play a little trivia. And so for the rest of the night, now that I got the chat room working, this is how we're gonna play this. The Q&A box, we're gonna have you enter your questions for our panelists in the Q&A box. And we're gonna use the chat for the trivia, okay? All right, and there are prizes. So the newly admitted student who answers first with the correct response, I will mail you a prize tomorrow.
Ooh.
You ready? Thumbs up if you're ready. All right. Can anyone tell me what percentage of Phillips Academy's 1,150 students are day students? Percentage. Who got it first? Who got it first? Isabel. Great job. About 25%.
The chat is blowing up right now.
I love it. All right, second trivia question. Can anyone tell me what the school motto is and what it means? So I'm looking for Latin and English. Who got it first, KG?
Oh gosh, there's the chat.
Robbie Swan. Oh, but he didn't. Oh, almost. Oh, it's like an autocorrect. I'm gonna give it to Rishi.
Yeah.
Non-city, not for self. Good job, Rishi.
Yay.
And then one more trivia question. How many years in a row has Andover won the Andover Exeter football game?
People throwing out random numbers.
Except for Emerson Buckley.
Emerson Buckley.
Nice. It's been 7 years in a row
Rishi got it
that
too.
we've won the Andover Exeter football game. All right, I'm going to turn it over to my friend and colleague, KG.
Well, I think we want to do introductions, right, Miss Mallick?
Oh, yes, yes. You introduce yourself first, and then we'll...
Oh, cool. Well, I am Mr. Graber. I'm one of the deans in our Office of Admission. I read, along with Miss Mallick, applications for the 9th grade. So all of your applications, I've read them and let people know how amazing they are. And I live on campus here at Andover with my wife and 3 kids, and I get to do a bunch of fun stuff. I help run a dorm called Fee's House, which is populated by 9th grade boarding boys. I'm an academic advisor. One of my advisees is on this panel. Sylvie, what's up? Legends advising in the house. I'm the advisor to the 11th grade class, and I coach varsity baseball in the spring. So that's one of the great things about Andover is, as a faculty member, you get to do a lot of fun stuff. How about I can turn it over to Miss Fry? You can introduce yourself, and then we can go to the student panelists.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. Fry. By day, I teach history, lots of it, to 9th and 10th graders mostly, and a senior elective. And I'm also one of many day student advisors on campus. So I'll be able to answer some of your questions, I hope. And I'm also the proud parent of two alumni daughters in the classes of 09 and 13. So welcome.
Let's go to Zach next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zach. I'm a senior from Methuen, Mass. Let's see. What else are we doing? What are the questions, Miss Mallick?
What school you went to before and your
Yes.
favorite spot on campus?
Okay, let's restart. I'm Zach. I'm a senior. I went to St. Augustine School in Andover for middle school, and my all-time favorite spot on campus is underrated. It's Morse Hall. It's our math building. Not a lot of people like going there to study, so it's kind of quiet. So I really like it there, and it also houses the newsroom. I used to be part of the Philippian, which is our school newspaper. So I have a lot of memories in Morse Hall.
Good job, Zach. And I'm just going in the order of the grid on my screen, which is random. So I'll go to Bennett next.
Hi, I'm Bennett. I'm a senior from North Andover. Before coming to Andover, I went to Pike and North Andover Middle School. And my favorite spot on campus has to be one of the tables by the window in lower right.
So specific. How come?
Eating
Lower
breakfast.
right of what, Bennett?
Lower right of the dining hall, Pereski Commons. But just eating a lot of meals there with friends over the years.
Yeah, got your spot. Cool. Sylvie.
Hi, KG. I'm Sylvie, and I'm a lower from Georgetown, Mass. And before Andover, I went to Shore Country Day School in Beverly, Mass. And my favorite spot on campus is definitely the Great Lawn because you can like have picnics there. You can like watch movies with your friends there. And I also like taking walks around like all the paths. It's super fun.
Great. Amelia, how about you?
Hey guys, my name's Amelia. I'm a senior right now, and I'm from Andover. Before PA, I went to Pike for middle school, and I think my favorite spot on campus is probably the cloister, which is this room in front of the choir room, like in the chapel. It's in the basement, and it it sounds kind of weird at first, but it's like one of the best spots to hang out with friends and just like chill, especially after rehearsals and stuff.
Awesome. Melanie.
Hey everyone, I'm Melanie. I am an upper from Lawrence, Massachusetts. I saw someone in the chat mention it, so yeah, rep for Lawrence.
Yeah.
Throughout middle school, I went to Lawrence Catholic Academy, also in Lawrence, Massachusetts. And probably my favorite place on campus would be the Great Lawn, specifically around the Armillary Sphere, because I've shared a lot of moments with my friends there. It's also a great place to be during golden hour. Yeah, people have gotten great pictures out there.
Super cool. All right, Alex.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alex. I'm a freshman, and I used to go to Pike before coming to Phillips. And my favorite spot on campus is probably Snyder. I like to hang out there with my friends, and it's right next to the soccer field.
Describe for the audience, Snyder. What is that?
Snyder's like the big athletic center. It's the new one.
All right, cool, cool. Well, I have some questions that I would like to ask panelists for the benefit of our attendees. But in the meantime, newly admitted students who are attendees in the Q&A, feel free to ask your questions. And behind the scenes, we have Miss Thompson from our Office of Admission, and she will filter the questions that you asked from the Q&A into my chat, and then I can filter them to our panelists. So I think that'll work really, really well. Ms. Fry, if we could start with you, just talk a little bit about your role as a day student advisor.
Sure. So as a day student advisor, I'm responsible for about 8 day students, usually in one grade, starting in 9th grade. And I'm the primary kind of adult contact on campus for the students, and also a liaison between PA and the family. We meet usually once a week as a group. Sometimes there's stuff we have to do for the school, and other times we just kind of have fun. We play games, we eat, we play more games, we eat more. We can get a little silly. We sometimes like go visit places on campus for fun. So, you know, that's kind of our real obligation. 3 times a year, we have to work on our academic program. So the day student advisor helps plan your course of study basically, and keeps track of all of your courses, make sure you're meeting your diploma requirements, make sure that you're kind of keeping up with your work, that everything's going well. If it's not, I'm probably the first person to know. Your teachers would reach out to your advisor, and we'd be having a little chat. But I would say my groups never have that problem. I don't know why. We have good groups. And then at any time, we can connect individually. Sometimes I'll meet advisees, we'll just have lunch together. Sometimes we plan it. Sometimes it's just really spontaneous. So really, it's just the day student advisor is like your go-to person on campus. You can ask a day student advisor anything from, you know, like, how do I work my locker, to what does it mean if I get this email, to who's the chair of the chemistry department. And if I don't know, it's my job to find out. So in a nutshell, I think, is that okay? Maybe the day students have more wisdom than I do.
One cool thing about advising for day students is that day students have the same advisor for all 4 years, whereas boarding students have a 9th grade advisor during their 9th grade year, and then they receive a different advisor when they hit the 10th grade. So a little bit of continuity. So if you really, you know, everyone likes their advisor here, but you know, you get to keep your advisor that you really, really like for all 4 years as a day student, which I think is really, really cool. Student panelists, what are some of the cool things that you do in advising? You know, because I think advisors try to do some fun stuff, right?
At least for my advising group, last year before we like shut down because of COVID and stuff, we actually went to Bodeborg, which is like this escape room place in, I think, Medford, Mass. But it was so fun. Our advisor, like, it's covered. I think like they get like funds for it or something. But we do like yearly or by a term basis, like trips out to just like fun places.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one really fun, cool experience that we did.
And Sylvie, we had a pretty cool day student mentor, right? Remember that?
Oh yeah, my junior year, we had a day student mentor. Her name was Molly, and she was the best. She would come to all of our advising meetings, and she was very helpful. I love the day student mentors.
Yeah, so day student mentors are 11th graders who serve in a leadership capacity, attach themselves with a day student advising group, and they're there to just, you know, impart their wisdom and give you a hand and be like a mentor, for lack of a better term. So yeah, Molly was great with that. All right, Amelia and Bennett. Bennett, why don't you go first? Talk a little bit about a typical day on campus. You know, what time do you get to campus? What meals do you eat here? What time do you leave? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And while he's talking, if it's okay, Bennett, I'm going to share the non-COVID times class schedule so that students might be able to think about their day. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, of course. So depending on the day, I mean, sometimes I like to sleep in, but usually I would wake up at like 7-ish, head to school around 7:30 and meet my friends for breakfast on a daily basis and just sit at a table, have a nice meal in commons, maybe catch up on some homework. If there's no homework to do, just talk. But we like to have a very nice, like long, hour-long breakfast. Head to class. And then as you'll see, like there's conference periods or full team meeting on some of these blocks after a class or two. So conference period is a good time for you to meet with a teacher if you need to, or just catch up on work, or go hang out in the library, or go get a snack in the den, also known as Susie's, but everyone calls it the den. Sometimes, you know, just go for a walk around campus if it's nice out. And then rest of classes throughout the day. You can see there's 10 minutes between each class. So there's plenty of time to get around campus. After class, depending on the season, either sports or some sort of commitment. I'm a diver, so I usually have diving practice all winter, which goes for an hour and a half-ish. So that will plop you down at around 5 o'clock-ish, depending on how long practice goes. I always have dinner with my friends, nice like meals in commons. I recommend the stir fry if anyone, depending on the eating situation next year. And then go do some work in the library until it's time to come home. And, you know, I think coming home is like, depends on how late I'm feeling. Like if I'm having a lot of fun in the library, I'll stay late there, or if you have clubs or something like that. But sometimes just want to come home at like 5 o'clock-ish. Yeah, and Amelia, you can touch on anything I missed.
Amelia, why don't you hit weekends?
Ooh, weekends. Okay. So unlike middle school, PA, like Andover's campus is open essentially every day of the week. You don't have classes, unlike, you know, Exeter, who has Saturday classes. We do not do weekend classes, but the campus is open for you to come in like whenever you so please. The library has a bit of a different schedule on the weekends. So usually it's open from like 8 to like, I think it's 9:45, though that might change next year on like the weekdays, but on the weekends it's open at a different time, so you just gotta like figure out that schedule as a day student. But it's really fun. Usually I come most days, like every Saturday I usually come to campus for like brunch with my friends, and then going to the library to do some studying, or like a lot of clubs choose to meet on the weekends too. So depending on what you're interested in and what clubs you join, you might have like different schedules. But yeah, I usually come in for brunch, go to study, go to clubs, and then stay for dinner and just talk with friends. But it's a really good time. Yeah.
Amelia, do you and Bennett take advantage of some of the fun stuff that's on the weekend? Or
Totally forgot. Yes. Oh, sorry, Bennett, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, usually, so around Thursday every week, you'll be sent the Weekender with a list of activities, sometimes performances, sometimes visiting speakers. There's always fun, like little events. I'm trying to think of some. There's like a hypnotist, always like stuff like that. Little dances. There's casino night, which is super fun. Everyone gets dressed up and we go to the dining hall and play like blackjack, poker, etc. Just a bunch of fun events like that. I might have missed some, but
no, that's perfect. We talked a little bit about Molly, our day student mentor we had in our advising group last year. But Zach, can you talk a little bit about the day student mentor program and how you, as a day student mentor, help new students adjust to PA?
Of course, yeah. So when a new student comes to PA, They don't just get a day student advisor like Miss Fry, they also get a pair of day student mentors to help guide them through their first year at the school, answer any questions they have. And so day student mentors are a good resource for new students, and we like to think of them almost as the day student version of prefects. So boarding students in their first year, they'll have prefects, which are older students to watch over them, and they live in the same hall as they do. Day students have sort of that mentoring role from day student mentors, which are older students, 11th and 12th graders, that help them come to advising meetings, plan events. Day student mentors have a budget that they can get food and spend on their day student mentees. And it's a really great program. I was a day student mentor last year and this year. I still keep in contact with a lot of my day student mentees from last year. I work closely with Molly, who's one of the co-heads of the program, and Bennett as well. So it's a really great program.
That's great. Miss Mallick, a few more trivia questions, maybe?
All right, I can do that, KG.
All right.
And then we're going to start. After that, we'll take some questions that have been entered into the Q&A box. All right, so are we ready in the chat room, newly admitted students? What is the name of the building that's currently under construction at Phillips Academy, which will be the future home of Andover swimming and diving, water polo, dance, wrestling, and the Andover Athletic Hall of Fame?
Well said.
Someone got that real fast. Julia, good job. That was like, I wasn't even done asking the question. She got that, right? All right, next one. In what year did Phillips Academy, which at one time was an all-boys school, merge with Abbott Academy? You all are very close, but not quite there yet. Oh no, now the chat's exploding and I can't tell.
I think Isabel Marquis got it.
She got another prize too. So I'm gonna give this one to Eva Murphy. Is it Eva or Ava? For getting it right. 1973. But Isabel did get it first. You're right. All right, back to Q&A, KG.
All right, let's see what we got in the chat here. All right, for student panelists. As a day student, are there lockers and/or places to keep books, athletic gear, change of clothes, etc.? Just go ahead and hop right in and respond.
Why doesn't one of the non-seniors answer, since you didn't have a chance to quite answer yet? Or not. Melanie, I'm gonna call on you.
Okay. I'm not much of an athlete, so I don't really use the locker rooms, but I know for a fact there are locker rooms. I know there's some near the pools in Borden Gym, which is one of our athletic centers. But I'm not sure about the other buildings. Yeah.
Well, you also, as a day student, are assigned a day student locker in GW, George Washington Hall. So not everyone really uses them, if we're going to be honest. I mean, I don't know a lot of people who use them at all. You just carry your backpack around all day, and if you have like stuff for athletics, you can throw it in one of the lockers, either in Borden. Some people use the rink. But sometimes people will throw, I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to advertise this, but sometimes people will throw extra bags in the cubbies and comments, because there are like 2 walls of cubbies. So that's another space where you can put things.
When you all get scooped up by whoever brings you home at night, where do they typically scoop you up? Do you hang out in GW Lounge by the GW Circle, or the Circle on Salem Street? How do you usually arrange that?
I always get picked up at the Circle on Salem Street. Just hop right in the car and go. I feel like that's a really popular spot.
Yeah. Anybody get scooped up on GW Circle, hang out in the day student lounge there? Not so much? Okay, cool, cool. All right, let's see what else we got brewing in the Q&A here. Any suggestions of what type of computer or tablet is best for new students? Alex, you want to take a crack at that? What are you rocking on the tech side?
I have a MacBook, and that's what I saw a fair amount of people have, but we mainly use like Microsoft Word, so I don't think not having a MacBook would be an issue. It's pretty open to what you can have. I would recommend a computer over a tablet.
How come?
I think it's just easier to like manage lots of like file downloads and Word and just bigger screen. And there's also more people who have it, so easier for like troubleshooting.
Gotcha.
Now,
Yeah.
some of you take a language that requires a tablet. Is that true? Bennett, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so I take Russian, and for the first couple of years, you'll use a tablet in Russian class. But you are able to get them on loan, at least for the Russian department. I don't know about the rest of school, but you can get them on loan because I prefer a computer too. It's better for typing, especially essays and stuff like that. But there are iPads available, and I think there's only a select couple of classes that or languages that require them, but they are available.
And on campus here, we have the PAC, P-A-C-C. It's an acronym, Phillips Academy Computer Center. So if you're having a software issue, a hardware issue with your computer, you can bring it, and there are folks in the PAC that are happy to help you out with that. It's in the library. That's a really cool resource to have here. All right, let's go with Melanie and Sylvie for this question, okay? All right. It starts off saying, hello, with an exclamation point. Is life at PA any different from how you imagined it before you actually stepped foot on campus? For example, more or less academically rigorous, more or less difficult to keep up with the work? Or just however you want to answer that. Melanie, why don't you hit lead off?
Yeah, first of all, hello, big exclamation point. And I think I would say that it's better not to completely know what you're getting into. Like, definitely embrace the surprises and the challenges that are going to be presented to you, because if you know exactly what's going on coming in, it's going to be boring. In terms of my personal experience, I think like one thing I underestimated was like time commitments. I did spend a lot more time on campus than I expected I would, and I found that I like really enjoyed it. Like, I stayed after school a lot for like for extracurriculars I never thought I'd do. Like, I did ice skating at one point, which was really fun. I really like doing clubs. Like, I'm part of Alianza Latina, which is the affinity space for Latinx students on campus. I think coming in, I did also overestimate how difficult it would be. I thought I would be failing all my classes. Don't stress yourself out too much about it. Just try your best, work as hard as you can, without sacrificing too much. And remember to have fun. Like, take it all in stride, definitely.
I would agree. I think that I was expecting there to be like a ton of work, and I mean there is work definitely, but I have like time to go on walks with my friends, and I have like more time to do other things other than work than I originally expected. And also coming into the school, I was really excited to meet new people from like a bunch of different countries, and my mind was like blown with some of the places that like people are from. And obviously, like, I love the day students, but some of these like backgrounds are just so crazy and so exciting to me.
Great job. All right, for the student panelists, were there days where you didn't have athletics during the scheduled block? And if so, what did you do during that time? Melanie, you want to hit that one?
Yeah, sure. Some days that I didn't, there'll be some days that you like don't have a sport, and sometimes like all your friends will be in sports too. Sometimes I just like took that time to unwind. Sometimes I would just like go to an unusual place and work. I used to go to Upper Right since I was an underclassman at the time of Peresky Commons and like do some homework. And it was like really nice to do it during that time because like the sun was setting and coming in through the windows, and the windows there are really big. It's a really nice dining hall. So that was something really nice. So yeah, it's kind of a treat when like you have one of those days in the week where you can take it a little slower. So yeah, you kind of just have space to do whatever you want. You can like explore campus if you want. It's like a pretty like it's a pretty place. So yeah.
Thank you for that. Alex, have you been in part of any clubs?
I am in 2 clubs.
Why don't you tell us about the clubs, but and also a little about like when they meet and that kind of thing. When they meet.
Okay, so I'm in a philanthropy and investment club, and I'm in Aware. Philanthropy and investment club, it's mainly about the stock market, and we have like a competition going on a website where you're given like $1 million, and then you can like obviously not real, but then you can invest that into different companies, and then it's like a competition with everyone in the group, with like every individual member of the club, and also like our school competes with other schools. And then there's just like stock pitches. The club itself has like some money that invests. And then Aware is a place, it's like a affinity group, and then you talk. It basically pushes you to think of and learn about other perspectives and other races. And that meets, I usually meet about once a week for both of them for about an hour on Zoom.
Awesome. How about Zach? What's your on-campus club experience like?
Well, coming in as a new student, you have access to the club rally, which is this incredible event at the beginning of the year where all of our many clubs are stationed and screaming at you and encouraging you to join their club. And so as a new student, speaking from experience, you tend to sign up for a lot of clubs just because everything is really exciting as a new student. And so I signed up for a lot of clubs, and one of the main ones that I signed up for was the Philippian, which I mentioned earlier, which is our student newspaper. I started off on the news staff and worked my way up to the editing side. And so it was a really great way for me to get to know my school, interview people from departments I didn't even know existed, and attend events I probably wouldn't have gone to otherwise. So I would say you sign up for a lot of clubs, but then you really hone in on a select few and make the most out of them.
Awesome. All right, name that tune break. This time, though, I need the name of the artist and the exact title of the song. Here we go. All right, what do we got?
I think Angelina got that first. No, Maddie Hugo.
Well, the title of the song is lowercase, and it's thank, and then the letter U, comma, next, all in lowercase.
I'm gonna let you judge that one, KG.
There's too many responses. I'm overwhelmed. That was pretty good. I did not play much of that song. All right, here's a great question. Oh, this question's for me, Miss Mallick.
What?
The question is, how does a person get the position of Gunga?
That's a secret, KG.
Well, it's really not a secret because Gunga is real. He's an actual gorilla. But if you have specific questions about Gunga and how that whole thing works, Gunga is our school's mascot. He's a gorilla. See Mr. Capano, the director of student activities. He's known to have a really good relationship with Gunga. All right, for student panelists, is it difficult for day students to spend time with boarding students? Sylvie, what do you think?
I would say no. I think that I have just as many boarding student friends as I do day student friends. Last year, I even got to sleep over in one of the dorms, which was really fun. And I got to take some of my friends off campus to go shopping. So there's definitely like enough ways for you to get to know the boarding students.
Yeah, do y'all ever bring boarding students home with you? Melanie, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I brought my friends to El Taller, which is a cafe in Lawrence. If you have not been, I highly recommend. And I've also brought them to JG's, which if you're from around here, you probably know about. Those were really fun. So yeah, bring your boarder friends off campus. They'll really appreciate it, and it'll be a fun time to like kind of like unwind outside of campus.
Yeah. And when you're old enough, day students are the only students who can have cars on campus. So sometimes you're really popular because of that. Thumbs up from Zach on that. How much homework do ninth graders have? Amelia, what do you think?
I remember, well, this was 3 years ago. Keep in mind, I'm an old woman now. My mind is not what it once was. But I remember ninth grade being like fairly manageable. Your teachers are definitely, especially fall term. Like I know that there's at least for like languages and or maybe it's just English, but for English, like your fall term grade is just like a pass or a fail. And it's really just to help like acclimate like new students to Andover life. Like it's a challenge for sure. I think especially for students if you're not used to like doing homework not right before it's due. It's definitely there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I remember all my teachers were like really helpful. Also go to conference. Your teachers are there to help you. They want to help you. They want you to succeed. But yeah, it wasn't too much homework. I'd say like every night was probably like 2 to 3 hours if I manage my time well. Yeah.
I think one of the great things about our academic program here for boarding students and day students is that there really is help everywhere. Everything from the Academic Skills Center, which is staffed by teaching learning professionals who help students with time management, organizational skills. They run our peer tutoring program, so they match students up with other students for peer tutoring, which is great. There's the Math Study Center, which takes place in Morse Hall. It's drop-in opportunity to get help with math work. There's the Gelb Study Center in the Gelb Science Center. That's a drop-in opportunity to get some help with your science work. There's the Writing Center, dropping out anytime you have a paper or an essay or a research project, you can bring it and folks will help you with that. So that's a big part of the Andover academic experience. It's really, really collaborative. It's kids helping kids. It's kids helping adults. It's adults helping kids rather than like everybody go to their own corner and memorize stuff. One of the things that I really like about it. All right, here's a question specifically for Mrs. Fry. Mrs. Fry, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
This is with regard to materials for classes. Do we purchase books at the PA school store or how does that whole thing work?
Oh, you would have to ask me that one. All I know is they show up in your classroom when you go to class. Somehow there are magically supplies there for the courses you're taking. That's all I know. I'm sorry. I know when, as a teacher, I have big boxes in my room of all the books that my kids need, and I hand them out on the first day. So it's some sort of magic that happens.
Students, how y'all getting your books and materials?
Well, this term for me, they were like delivered. Yeah, they were just delivered to me.
Magic. All right, cool.
I guess, sorry, KG. I guess if the main question's about like ordering, you like really don't have to order your own books. That the school has your schedule and they take care of all of that for you. I feel like there's like a select few classes where you have to go out and buy the book yourself. Other than that, they're like Miss Fry said, they're in the classroom when you get there. They're ready for you, or you can get them. They have some textbooks in the library as well, so that's not really anything to worry about.
Yeah, I think there was one time where I had to order a book for my Bio 100 class, and it was pretty easy. I think we just had to like go into a website called Follett, and like all of that is like on the the school website, which is called PANet, which is like where all the resources for students are. And you just like filled out a form on Follett and you figured out what book you needed. And then, yeah, it got delivered to you. Yeah, it's not difficult at all. Like the other said, it's like you'll usually be provided the book in the class, so it's not usually something you'll have to worry about.
All right, good job. Ms. Mallick, we have some questions about placement tests and course selections.
I got that, KG. Thank you. So hopefully you'll all say yes to our offer of admission by noon on April 10th, which is your deadline. And then after we've collected all the information of students who've said yes, we're going to email all of you on Monday, May 3rd with your login information and links to where you can start choosing your classes and taking placement tests online. And we give placement tests in math, foreign language, and music. So that we can place you appropriately in our curriculum. And so that will be emailed out to you on May 3rd, and you have until June 1st to get that all back to us. And I'm your person. So you will have a day student advisor. If you're lucky, it'll be KG or Mrs. Fry because they're awesome. But I'm your person up until you get your day student advisor. So when that email goes out and you have access to your placement tests and course selection, you can call me, email me, and I can help you through that process, but that's not until May. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that great question, KG.
That's a really good question. All right, this is for all the student panelists. Perhaps we can hit each of you up with this one, but just a really general question. What does it take to be successful at PA? Melanie, why don't you hit lead off?
I think a really good thing is, or two really good things are to be adaptable and collaborative. First, with adaptable, you're going to be tested in a lot of different ways, like in terms of time management, writing skills, math skills, even like social skills. So just learn what you can in each area, try your best to figure out what to do, and like push your boundaries a bit. You might have to get out of your comfort zone, and that's like a source for growth, so go for it. Second of all, collaborative. As KG said, like you're gonna have a lot of spaces to get help from like your friends and from teachers. So like just help each other where you can. Be willing to help other people, and then other people will be willing to help you too. And that's something that has helped me like a lot over the past few years. Yeah, your classmates will really pull you through sometimes.
Nice job, Melanie. Amelia, how about you?
I think it's important to define like what successful means. So like, I think there are different ways you can interpret what success is. If you want, like, if you're thinking about academic success, yes, like do everything Melanie just said. But I think there are a lot of other things like, in terms of like socially, you want to make sure like everything is a balance, right? So yes, push yourself, yes, challenge yourself and take like the courses that you want to take like that AP French exam that you like really know you need to take. That's what I'm doing right now. But like at the same time, know that there's also like a time and place for you to just chill and like make friends, like make those memories, because that's what you'll remember in 50 years, you know, like those really fun days at Andover.
Well said, Amelia. Sylvie.
I was going to agree with Amelia. I think it's really important to surround yourself with like great people. Like obviously in this community, that's a really easy thing to do. But while you're, yes, at this school to learn, that doesn't mean that you can't also have like the best time of your life and have so much fun. And it's like a balance, and that's like what Andover is there to help you learn, and also like reach out to all these people you have access to, like your advisor, for example, like Mr. River or KG as we call him, is like so helpful. And also like all your teachers, like they're really just there to support you. And I think that it's really important to like recognize these resources and then learn how to use them.
Well said. How about you, Zach?
My main piece of advice is just to keep your options open. I remember that coming to the school as a recently graduated 8th grader, I had this image of what I expected from PA and perhaps what like PA expected of me. And what I found is that after nearly 4 years at the school, I've diverged from that path in really good ways. And what I've gotten out of the experience is radically different than what I was expecting, all in very good ways, because I was thinking I have to be like this, like cookie cutter, like academic person, but I've discovered that it's like my time here has been about so much more than academics and what I was expecting out of it. So keep your options open, sign up for clubs, try things out, and of course, know your limits as well.
Yeah. And Alex, you're a current ninth grader. So what's your take on this?
For me, I want to emphasize one of Melanie's points, which was the time management point, because not only academically, but also being able to manage your time, to make time for social interactions and to try new things and branch out to new people and new clubs. That's what's going to make you be successful at Andover.
Yeah. Mrs. Fry, what do you think?
I always encourage my advisees to do things at Andover because they're at Andover without thinking about the future or, resume building or any of that. Like if something interests you, do it, right? Don't be second guessing why or who's watching, either your friends or adults in the community. Just if you want to do something, it's at Andover and it's there for you, go do it.
Yeah. All right. Let me see here. All right, name that tune. I only need the name of the song though. Here we go. All right, what do we got? Oh, wow, everybody got that immediately. Oh, and we got the artist. Cool. That's my jam right now. I had to play that one. Why you always in the mood? All right, cool. Sylvie, what was the deciding factor for you in saying yes to Big Blue?
I was really excited coming from a pretty small middle school to be able to meet new people with different backgrounds and to be able to have discussions in classrooms with these people who come from all over the place. And it just seemed like an important thing for me to have in my education journey.
Yeah. Melanie, how about you? What got you to say yes?
I think one thing that got me to say yes was definitely how the kids interacted with each other when I came on my tour. I actually decided on committing before I even did my revisit.
We like that.
So yeah, I already knew like the day of. So yeah, when I came on my tour, like I was nervous that like the school, like it's a boarding school, it's an elite institution. I was scared that people like might be like, like stuck up, and because like that's like the stereotype that's like presented in like TV a lot or whatever. And people were just like so warm and welcoming and friendly. And I was like, yes, this is perfect. And when I did come on my revisit afterwards, like when we were going to classes, people were joking around with each other. And like you could tell that everyone was like genuinely friends. And that did a lot for me. Because I didn't just want a school that's like academically good. I like want to be happy, and I am. Yeah, that's something I really appreciated.
That's great. And Alex, you just said yes not long ago.
Yeah. I think a big thing for me was like the balance of good, rigorous academics, but also having some solid sports with good coaches and like good environments.
All right. Well said. Ms. Mallick, we've been getting a recurring interesting question, and that is about connecting with newly admitted students, connecting with other local students, how perhaps they can reach out and meet other day students before school starts. Any suggestions?
Oh, sure. I can take that, KG. Unofficially, there's someone who started some Discord server for entering ninth grade students, and I can find you that link somewhere, or maybe one of the current students knows that link and can throw it in the chat. That's unofficial, unrelated to our office. But after April 10th, once you all say yes, we actually, last year we did this too with our newly admitted students. Alex might remember, we had like virtual things that happened. by grade level so that you could meet the boarding students in your grade as well as other day students and get together. And then people would share their social media handles and stuff through that. We do typically have an in-person gathering in August for new day students, which the older students would remember, with that I actually help play some name games with you all and right before school starts. You know, obviously last summer we couldn't do that in person because of COVID, but we'll hope to bring that back this summer if things continue to look like they're getting better. But we have to obviously be careful about COVID regulations and CDC guidelines for right now for in-person kinds of things. So stay tuned.
It's time for like one last question before we hit maybe a final trivia and then some closing remarks. But I think this is a really interesting question. The question is, do day students have time either after school or on weekends to see friends who don't attend Andover?
I can do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've definitely found plenty of time to see friends. Like I have a very strong friend group at home, all people who don't go to Andover. So that definitely goes with budgeting your time and figuring out or just like having a good sense of scheduling and stuff like that. But I have found it not really a problem at all. I don't know if other people disagree, but I think it's been easy to keep up that connections.
Yeah, I think one thing that catches students by surprise as well is that our breaks are really frequent and they're really long, and our school year starts late and it ends early, and your summer's wicked long as well. So there's that. All right, Miss Mallick, I'm gonna hand it back over to you.
All right, 2 more trivia questions. Can someone please tell me what the Brace Center is on campus?
Good question.
Oh, Adrian Werner. Right, so good. The Brace Center is our Center for Gender Studies, which we think is maybe the only one of its kind on a high school campus. And then lastly, can you name one of the 2 most common responses for our short answer question on the application? What do you like to do just for fun?
Ooh, I know one.
You do?
Yeah.
I mean, no one actually said video games, even though that might be true.
I read that a lot. That was my answer. I read that a lot.
Andrew, very good. Cooking/baking was like the #1 thing.
Yeah.
Very good.
Miss Mallick, there were a lot of gardeners in the boys' pool this year.
That was the second one, like outdoorsy gardening situation. You gave away the other answer. Great job.
Yeah.
All right, so can I just hit the panel with one last question to wrap this up, because I don't really have any final remarks other than please go check out that webpage for newly admitted students. And my friend Athena dropped the Discord link somewhere in this chat if you want to connect with new students that way. Athena, would you mind doing that again? Because it got lost in the trivia. So panelists, and KG, you can answer too, since you've worked with day students for many years now. Can you give one piece of advice to our newly admitted day students and families as they're making this decision? Because some of them have already decided to say yes, and some of them are still pondering their options. Can any of you share some wisdom about making this decision, or how you went about it? Thanks, Athena, for that Discord link, and thanks, Ms. Thompson, for the newly admitted students webpage link. I stumped you with this question. No, Zach wants to go. Okay.
Yeah, I can get us going. I mean, like Melanie, I said yes to Andover that first day on March 10th. It was a done deal when I got that acceptance. But if you're still thinking about it, I would strongly encourage you to say yes, of course. I mean, of course, I said yes right away, but the thing that really confirmed my choice for me was my revisit day. I understand that you might not have that opportunity, but through events like this and even reaching out to us after the fact with your questions, we'd be happy to answer any of those. But on my revisit day, I just remember sitting in a English classroom, ninth graders all in a circle. First time English class was ever like that for me. And just watching the students in the class dissect the poem, I still remember it. It was Crossing Brooklyn Ferry by Walt Whitman. It's like implanted in my mind. Just like the great discussion that I was able to witness as an 8th grader told me that PA was going to be the right place for me. And so you'll have many of those conversations and more inside the classroom, outside of the classroom. And so that's what confirmed the choice for me. And I'm happy I said yes. So I would encourage you to say yes as well.
Ms. Mallick, I have a brief bit of wisdom on this.
All right.
And that is that I know when you apply to Andover and you get that decision on your computer and or in the mail, and it says admit, it gets real quick, right? And it can be a little bit scary because you're like, I got in. And now you have to decide, do I actually want to go? And here's one thing I can say is that Miss Mallick and I read a ton of we read many of your applications. And one thing we can tell you is that we're really, really good at our jobs. Andover is a really selective school, and a byproduct of how selective it is means we only offer admission to students that we are 100% sure are going to come here and do really, really well. We only offer admission to applicants who we know are a match for the academic program. You are kids who are doing really well where you go to school now. You really like school. You're really interested in the stuff you're learning. And that goes a long way toward academic match. Number two, we know that you really were interested in coming to Andover rather than someone sort of dragging you into the applicant pool. And that's really important as well. We know that you love to do stuff, and Andover is a place where you can do so much: music, theater, drama, community service, clubs, organizations, athletics, leadership opportunities, of course, academics. And what we've identified is that you are kids who love to do stuff. And we need you because we can't offer the stuff unless we have you here doing it with us. And the last thing is, this is the ultimate deal breaker or deal sealer in our process. Unless you are super duper nice, we do not offer you admission. So that's one thing we've identified in all of you who've applied and received that offer of admission. We know you're really, really nice. And that was one thing we really, really liked about you. So take confidence in the fact that we have determined that you are a perfect match for this place. We offered you admission because we really, really want you to say yes.
Mic drop. Way to go, KG. Thanks for ending on that important note that KG and I and the rest of the admission team do not make mistakes. We're very thorough in what we're doing. Big blue thank you to Mrs. Fry, who's on the panel, Ms. Thompson, who's in the background answering questions, and to our awesome current student panelists, day students who helped out tonight on one of their last nights of spring break. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to all of you, and please be in touch with any questions. Have a great night.
Thank you, Mrs. Mallick. Great job.
Thank you, KG. Bye. And I'll send prizes to all you trivia winners.